Anchor Evan Millward has been in Indianapolis all evening long following the latest developments, as you know, in this case. And Evan, you know, this is a situation that has really developed nonstop, hour by hour, since around 11 o'clock last night. One thing that was very different about this shooting compared to other scenes is, you know, typically we see text messages and photos, even videos come out from the scene, but that certainly wasn't the case here. Explain a little bit more about that.
Well, certainly, Craig, from inside the building, we weren't seeing any videos or anything because the employees, as they work, have to put their cell phones away. And that led to a lot of anxiety for these families who knew they had family members working inside this warehouse and knew they couldn't get in touch with them, even just to a quick text that says, "Mom, I'm okay," or "I'll be fine, something bad happened, but I'm okay." That wasn't happening. So there was this deafening silence for so many hours, Craig, for so many families. I will say this, though, this did not happen in a vacuum out here just because there wasn't cell phone video from inside. From here where we are, the outside on the parking lot, I can see at least a dozen cameras on the outside, and I'm sure that will come into play in this investigation.
And now that we have the victims' names released, you know, have you seen any changes there at the scene itself?
Yeah, Craig, and that was really what we were waiting for all afternoon, another sort of painfully long process of this identification process that is a little different in Indiana, where you have to have a family member identify them. And so even in the run-up to them releasing those names, we started to see the crime scene tape come down around the outside crime scene in the parking lot where this all started. That all came down a little bit before those names were released, and we started seeing people come in to get their cars from this parking lot, these people who managed to get out of this okay. And that's when we sort of knew that things were changing, and we started to understand that we were maybe going to get some identification on these victims finally.
And if you can here, wrap up in just about 30 seconds left that we have here. This scene, although extremely tragic, clearly 8 people dead in this attack, this could have been worse. There were certain security measures in place, correct?
Yeah, when we talked to investigators about 4 o'clock this afternoon, they said that the gunman did not get far into the building because there are security measures at the entrance, and wouldn't elaborate what those were quite yet, but they did say they did their job and they worked as they were intended to, Craig.
Good news for sure.